righty, welcome. We'll give everyone a chance to come on in and then we'll get started. Hi. Hi, Stacy. I was just thinking about New Orleans today, so welcome. I want to go there and eat some good food. Okay, we'll wait about 1 more minute and we will jump on in. Welcome, everyone. If you do have any questions throughout this entire event, please feel free to write them in the chat and we can answer your questions. We actually have a designated Q&A portion, so you will have the floor to express and share and ask whatever's on your mind. All righty. Okay, so I will share my screen and we'll talk about why we're here, what's Hospitabuddies, and why it's so exciting. Let's see. Yes, Jamie, you are muted. We can't hear a thing. Okay, great. Okay. So welcome everyone to our first Hospitabuddies event. This is here for our hosts to connect, share their experiences, and also share tips and tricks. And we'll get into more about what this whole session is today. Let's see. Explain. All right, so let's get going. So what is Hospitabuddies? So this is our way of providing a supportive and collaborative community event for our hosts to make sure you have the opportunity to connect and feel supported as well. Let's see. Everyone is muted. You don't have to worry at all if anyone can hear you, just so you know. And this event was actually birthed from our town hall events. I'm sure you all have attended and you hear the awesome updates, you hear the company updates, but there was a desire from all of our hosts, you all, to have something where you can do a bit more. You had the platform to ask more questions, where you could be updated on actual features and not so much the company updates, but more of the software updates. And just a place where you can be you, connect, and learn, especially for our newer hosts. So this is what we came up with, Hospitabuddies, birthed from your feedback and here so that you can learn best practices and be the best host that you can be, providing that best experience for your guests. And of course, the network. So who are we? I will let Ethan introduce himself, but first I will let you know that my name is Tanai. I'm pretty sure that I've chatted with some of you online. I am a customer support advocate here at Hospitable, here to answer all of your questions. And I will let Ethan introduce himself as well.
Hello, thanks so much, Tanai. Yeah, pumped for our first Hospitabuddies event. Just to quickly introduce myself, my name's Ethan. I'm from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. So you might notice the accent. I'm part of the customer support team here at Hospitable, and I'm also a Hospitable host myself. So I've had 3 different Airbnb listings over the years. Currently operating one home, which is a 4-bed up in the hinterland here. Which does quite well. So I run that with my wife as a bit of a short-term rental business, and then also helping out hosts throughout the day here. So I'll be online usually for US people around starting this time and throughout your evening. So you might have even spoken to me on the chat at different times, or even possibly had a Zoom support call. So yeah, looking forward to running through some support-based stuff and getting into some questions and answering later. Thanks, Tanai.
Yeah, and it's awesome to have Ethan here because I am more so like, I want to build community and let's get our hosts together and let's share. And because he has that firsthand experience with being a host himself, he knows exactly what you all need. He's very, very tech savvy. We all are, of course, being your technical advocates, but he knows his stuff front and back, and he knows what you need to be the best host that you can. So it's great having both sides of the experience. So feel free to throw those questions out there for Ethan later on as well. All right, so what we will cover today, these sessions are designed to give you a bit of a workshop feel. You will kind of learn to navigate new features and new experiences within the platform. And we want to show you what we're going over today. So our latest integrations is what we'll go over first, what's new with Hospitable. Getting started with Direct. I know that's been the hot topic for so long. Direct Premium, Direct Basic. What is it? How do I get started? I didn't even know you had Direct. We have all these questions that come up with our hosts every single day. So we want to introduce you to what that is exactly and all the cool features there. We also have some new calendar features that you may or may not be aware of. And if you are not, you can start using those to your advantage. And then that's when we will have our open Q&A session. So if you get those questions started in the chat early, we can review those as well. Okay, so first, our latest integrations. We have two new integrations here at Hospitable, and one is something that you all have been asking for a while, and it is Beyond Pricing. A lot of our hosts use Price Labs, but Beyond is another option that is great, and we do have a full integration with them as well. So if anyone is interested for something else that they would like to experiment with their pricing, Beyond, you will find that in your dashboard in the app section, and you can connect directly there. Let's see. Whoops, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see. Also, another integration that we have currently is with Turno, formerly Turnover B&B. And I know a lot of our hosts are subscribers of Turnover B&B. Now we have a full integration. I actually encourage you to spend a little more time with Turno for your operations because they are awesome. And as you can see, it's a smart way to schedule, pay, and find vacation rental cleaners for your Airbnb, Booking.com, and Vrbo listings. They take care of everything for you. I know a lot of users have been looking for a more robust system. We were a bit limited in our functionality, but Turno will get you covered end to end. And also the latest with our Turno integration is that you can actually subscribe to Turno for free when you connect your API to the Hospitable's API to Turno. Did I miss anything there, Ethan?
No, that's great. Yeah, I've actually just set up Turno for the first time for my own listing, and it's been interesting to check it out. And it's awesome that Hospitable hosts get access to that free Turno subscription. So I will note something with that I worked out as I was setting it up. They do charge a percentage fee of about 5% of the cleans. So that is still included. But if you are to bring over your existing cleaners into Turno, they don't actually charge that 5% fee on the cleans. So the subscription fee is free, which is amazing because Turno has some pretty next level functionality. So I definitely recommend checking out the Turno functionality that we've got, and we've got some awesome ability. When I share my screen later, I'll show you how easy it is to find that and then start the connection flow as well, if you are interested in checking that out.
And Ethan, we have a question because you're a bit more familiar with it. What do you find the advantages are of moving your cleaners over to Turno?
So they do full cleaner like payments management as well. So one of the things that's been a huge aim and I guess the thing on the roadmap for Hospitable has been managing payments for Direct to take that I guess workload off hosts. because I guess all the hosts out there know just hosting is enough without having to jump into Stripe and process payments and send invoices in your own time, when all those things can be automated. And the same goes for Turno. I think that's been the biggest thing for me, but they have a ton of other functionality that you can send and receive photos, updates, checklists, some functionality that we have within Hospitable already, but I think our ability to grow our operations functionality has been limited with the team focusing so heavily on direct and some of the other awesome products that we've released lately. Just being able to have this functionality connect easily through an integration with Turno and have the ability to immediately access all those extra features is pretty awesome.
Yes, awesome. And Turnover B&B has been around for a while, so they are not a new company. They just rebranded with their new name, Turno, for someone who asked in the chat. And also Beyond does have their own subscription fees. But because we're such good pals with Turno, they have offered that to us for Hospitable subscribers to actually experience that for free. So that is amazing. And in the chat, hosts, please share your experience with Turno or Beyond. If you have any tips that you can share with your buddies in here, that is all wonderful, because that's what we're here for, to share our tips and tricks. If you have a dynamic pricing platform that you are interested, that you love for us to integrate with, or that you feel like works great for you, please share that with your fellow Hospitabuddies. All right, and next we are on to our 2 new calendar features. Now, these have been some updates that you can see directly within your dashboard on your calendar, and they are pending booking requests and calendar source data information. So I'll start with the data information, because that is a big deal, because we do have users chat in and they will say, hey, I don't know where this pricing came from. I thought I manually updated. Or, hey, is my price or is my availability coming from Airbnb? Is it coming from Vrbo, booking.com? Where is it coming from? And you can now see that for yourself directly within the calendar. So if you have your calendar pulled up like this, if you click on a date, it will populate this box over here to the right that gives you your dates, your pricing, minimum night stay, all of that. But if you look right underneath where it says source, you will actually see the source of the availability, where that was set, where your pricing was set, and where your minimum night stay was set. It says it right there. So great new feature to reference if you are ever in need of knowing where that information comes from, or sometimes you're a bit confused, like, how the heck did this get here? I thought I manually updated, but you can confirm, nope, this is coming from Airbnb directly. And I now have the option to manually update because I know that it wasn't something that I put there myself. Let's see. And then also we have pending booking requests. So previously, when there was a booking request through for direct bookings, we didn't have this cute little yellow tag there to let you know that, hey, we're blocking those dates out, because we didn't block those dates out. And sometimes a guest would come in, swoop on in, and take that reservation right underneath somebody. Pain in the butt. So now we have this block that will actually block out the dates and let you know that reservations are pending. When you go to your calendar, you should see that pop up to let you know, hey, this is a new feature. And now you'll know what those yellow boxes mean. Did I miss anything there, Ethan?
No, that's all great. I think it's a pretty awesome functionality, especially that source feature, to be able to see exactly where we're receiving that information, because up until now it's been very much blind. You don't know why there's a block, and we had a lot of people reaching out to us in support saying, where is this block coming from? You can't tell as to exactly which platform. So yeah, it's really handy just to have that there now, and it's an easy spot to check. And then you can see, okay, it's come from Airbnb, and you can go and check your Airbnb calendar if that's your lead listing, and makes it a lot easier to open up that calendar if there's a block, or vice versa.
Yes, and then we had a question come in. Does setting the price of Hospitable update your other platforms. If your other platforms are connected and your listings are synced, yes, it will. So you can update your price directly within your calendar, and we will push those to your connected booking channels. As soon as that is updated, it happens instantly. Let's see. And another question, if there is a yellow pending, no one else can book, that is correct. So if you have that pending there, it's holding the spots for that reservation, and no one will be able to book during that time unless you cancel and open those dates back up. Let's see. All right, Peter, if you send us a ticket to support, we can definitely look into that for you to see what's going on with your calendar, because you should be able to see that on your dashboard. Also, if you are using the app or anything, please make sure that that is updated to the newest version. Okay. All right, and we'll get to the other questions in our Q&A section. So cool new features. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so now I'm sure the moment many people have been waiting for. We're going to talk about Direct, what it is, what does it look like, how to get started, all about Direct. This is our section for that. So if you did not know, Hospitable does give you the option to actually build your own direct booking site. So you have the option to have your guests come to your site. It's a beautiful site that can be made in just a few clicks. Ethan will show us that in a little bit. And you can have all your reservations synced to your booking channels through that website. And you can include a custom domain name. You can optimize for desktop or mobile and display your properties how you want. So you may not necessarily like how your booking channels are set up, whether it's Airbnb, VerboBooking.com. You may want to do something special to make it feel a little more personalized for your guests who are viewing your website. And it's nice just to have something that's your own and let people see that, hey, this is my business and this is what I have to offer. And direct websites can make that possible for you very easy. Also, right now, it is free for our Hospitable subscribers. So it doesn't take anything but you click in, maybe 3 clicks, and then you're ready to go. But our latest version that is about to roll out next, because the previous version was in beta, which is our Direct Basic and Premium options, which include way more features, including payment processing, collecting your taxes, and all of those things, which you can see right here. So I'm going to kick it over to Ethan, where he will show you how easy it is to set up that Direct website. And I'll also gather your questions that you have in the chat and make sure that I ask him along the way. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Thanks, Tanai. I'll get my screen sharing now so I can run you guys through. I just want to quickly show you, we've got some hosts that haven't spent time setting up a direct booking website, but are really interested in doing so. So I just wanted to quickly run you through where to find Direct and how easy it is to set up a new site. So I'll get my screen sharing here. And you guys should be able to see that now. So I'm in my own personal Hospitable account here. And you can see I've got a couple of sites live already. But all you really need to do is you open up your Hospitable account, head to Direct on the left-hand side, and then you can just hit this button on the right-hand side that says Create New. And that will start you off in a flow to create a new Direct website. You can choose your own subdomain here with the hospitable.rentals. So that's in lieu of, say, .com. So just as an example, I can write example website for Direct. You guys can pick your own, whatever you like. Continue on. You can pick which properties are scoped. So if you've got only some that you wish to advertise directly, you can do so. Taxes is a feature that's coming soon. So you can just simply click Create My Site. And within a few moments, we'll create a full site for you. There's nothing else technical that has to be done. It's very straightforward, and you'll see we've got a site loaded for you now. So you've got a few more options here of a flow you can go through. You can bring your own entire private domain over. So if you already have a domain with, say, WordPress or another website like GoDaddy, you can bring that whole site over with your own company name and that sort of thing, and you don't have to use the hospitable.rentals. So you can just click that add your own domain button there. We've got some awesome support articles in our help center that run through the steps for that, because there is a couple of steps that you need to do to bring in your own domain depending on which provider you're with. You can fully design your site from here. So this might be a page that some of your hosts haven't seen. These design templates are new. I highly recommend, if you're interested, you can head to your settings, preferences, and then under general here, there's an option to turn on our beta features. This will give you first access to any new features that we're trialing that our engineers and product team are pushing live. So these design templates here are available to all beta users. I'm not sure how many of these have been pushed live to just our standard access, but I definitely recommend turning on that beta, checking out some of these different designs and seeing which one might work for your listings. You can go through, set up a site logo, a title, subtitle, set some background sliders for the hero image, add your social links, and just a general about us and a footer. So there's heaps of functionality there to make your site more custom, and we'll be adding more and more features here as we go along. You can always come back at any time and change the properties that are scoped to the website. And once you've done all that, you can hit publish. Mine is already live. So this is just one example of a potential direct booking website. And you can go from there. So it's all pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's what I wanted to run through. There's a lot more functionality coming as we go forward with payment processing and that sort of thing. So we'll run through those in future events. I'll send it back to you now, Tanai.
Okay. Ethan, do you mind showing us a little bit, like giving us a browse around your site?
Yeah, for sure. One sec, let me get that back. So I'll go through, I'll find, so if we go here, this is my one using my own domain. Let's see if the domain, yeah, so you can see here at the top of the screen, I've got SurfCloud, which is my business name, as the domain. So if you were to go through those steps and add your own private domain, you can see that's how it would populate. I've got my hero image here, which is the local beach that I enjoy surfing at. Beautiful little spot. And then a couple of my properties here. So this is one of my listings. If you click through, you can view all the information. All of this is synced over from Airbnb. So you don't have to update these listing descriptions. We'll check your Airbnb listing every 2 hours for any updates to your descriptions, and we'll sync that over. We're still working on an ability to set that up separately. At the moment, you do have to have a listing live on one of the platforms in order to have a direct site, but we will be setting up that functionality soon so you can have an independent direct site. But yeah, if I scroll through here, it's all that information. And then this is all directly synced from your Hospitable calendar. So you can see here, we're fully booked, but you can select nights throughout here, and it will automatically populate pricing, and guests can submit a request to book there, and that will come through to your Hospitable inbox, just like it would from any other of the platforms. Now, all those automated messaging rules can be set up for your direct, so you can use those same ones you're using for your other platforms through here. I've had a few bookings myself, and it's been amazing and saved me a ton of time. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you get a chance. And if you've got any questions in the chat there, I'll jump on now and see if I can get back to you.
Okay, perfect. Also, We have a few questions. I can actually pull up my screen. We'll see. But someone just wanted to know if you could run through turning on those beta features again. And then there was a question about reordering your picks for direct and how we can do that.
Yeah, for sure. So firstly, to run through that beta once more, it's just settings in your account, preferences, and then general, and you'll see that enable beta features there. So that's just a setting that you can toggle on if you wish. Turning that on will give you access to all of the beta features, and they are in development. So please be kind with the team in that they're not perfect. If you don't want to work through the development with the team on those, you can also just leave those off for now, and you'll get access to everything when it does go live. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. What was the other thing, sorry, tonight?
And let me see, the other question was how we can reorder the pictures for direct.
Oh yeah, so that is another beta feature at the moment, the reordering. So we haven't had the ability to reorder the photos on direct. At this stage, they've just been synced straight from your Airbnb calendar. So we don't have the functionality yet to order those well within the site itself. For the hero images, when you load them, they'll be loaded in the order that you add them. But when we add our own direct channel itself, you'll be able to add your photos directly to your website rather than having them synced from Airbnb, and that will then give you the ability to order them as you wish rather than having them come from Airbnb.
Awesome. And I just put a link in the chat for everyone wanting to know the fees and all the details. You can click that link. It says all about direct, and it'll show you the difference between direct premium, direct basic, and the features that come with that, as well as all the perks of being enrolled in all of that.
For
So
sure.
check that link out, please, 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 because it has some very valuable information there.
For sure. And I saw Stephen in the chat there asked about if it's possible to embed a widget into your own site. So we do have a widget. I'll share a link for a support article, how to easily add that. There's a section in Hospitable where you can grab the embed required to add that to WordPress. And it works the same. It has that, populates that calendar and the request to book functionality so that you can still have your guests book through your own site if you've already spent a bit of money getting your own site set up while we've been building this. So I've tested that out. I previously had a WordPress site, and it works really well, and it will also be included with payment processing down the track too. So highly recommend that, and I'll send you a link for that too.
Yeah, and just a tip, that widget can be embedded into most sites except for Wix, which I know Wix is a very popular web builder, but right now that's just not one that we're able to integrate with. But all of your other sites, you should be good to go with that widget. Let's see, so I'm just going to look briefly for some questions to see if we have anything. If you have any questions that relate to any of the features we discussed before we get into our kind of like open forum questions. Let's see. Oops, I posted a link. Not for everyone. Let me make sure I do that again. Thank you. So how will messaging appear from inquiries generated from direct booking site? That is a great question. Those messages will be just in the email format. So you'll still see them within your Hospitable inbox, but when you reply, they will go to the guest email provided. And there was also a really good question about instant booking. Once you are enrolled in direct, your guests will have the option to pay and instantly book that site as well, or that reservation as well. Right now, it's currently set where they will do a request to book option. So they will put in the dates in the calendar, request to book, and you will approve and send over any invoices that are needed. But once you are enrolled into that, they will be able to book directly, which is an awesome feature. And later on, I will actually put a link where if anyone is interested in early access for direct, basic, or premium, you will be able to use that form to enroll. Yep, great question, Stacy. I will put that link in there for you. Okay, keep the questions rolling. I will continue just to see what else we have on here, and then we can get straight into our Q&A. I love that you guys have so many questions. I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay. Oops. Oh, here we are into the question section. So we can run through and see exactly what's on your mind. Let's see, questions. Are you planning to ever have live analytics reporting instead of the one where we need to export and report? This has been a question from many of our users, and we are working on a better metrics and reporting system for our hosts. We currently don't have anything in the, well, it's being worked on, it's in the pipeline, but we don't have like a final rollout or release because the primary focus is direct, because that's been the hot topic for so long, and we want to make sure that you all have the tools and resources to get those direct bookings. All right, Roscoe, you had a question. What are the prices in the Hospitable calendar that are on the days? Do you mind clarifying a little bit more about what you mean there? Usually when you see the calendar, the prices that are set for the days are the base rates that you have set within Hospitable to be pushed to your bookings or your booking channels. So those would be that's where those prices would come from. They should have generated from what you put in there. Let's see. Okay, and we had some questions that were actually submitted before. Ethan, for your direct bookings, what payment processing, how do you go about your payments now?
So at the moment, pre our payment processing launch, I've been using Stripe. So I previously used Stripe even before I was a Hospitable host. And when I signed up with Hospitable for the scheduled messages and all the other automation and awesome features, it enabled me to continue using Stripe. So at the moment, before the payment processing beta and it goes out live to everybody, the process would be to take that request to book. If I'm happy to accept it, I then send them an invoice via email. So it is a bit of a manual process, and we're literally weeks away from being able to have a direct Stripe integration. So if you check out that all about direct bookings link that Tanai shared in the chat, you can see there a bit more about a couple of our options for direct. We'll have direct basic, which includes a Stripe integration. So it'll allow you to take payments through Stripe without having to actually send those invoices to clients. So that will be, when it does go live, that will be available to host outside of the US. So for myself, being in Australia, direct premium won't be launched worldwide initially. It's only going to be for US hosts. So that next level premium direct option that you can check out in that article, there's lots of info there, will be for US hosts. But for us Aussies who are next in line, we can use that direct basic option. So we've got some really good info there about how that Stripe integration works. And I'll show you just quickly, if I share my screen here. And I saw a couple of people mentioned it's a bit wide. I'll have to fix up my screen for you guys with the smaller screens. But I just wanted to show you, if I head to direct, as I am in that pilot that Tanai mentioned, we'll send you through the type form link so you can apply to be included in that pilot. I do know that the pilot is close to being maxed out, and we are very close to sending it live to all beta users generally, but we'll definitely recommend applying there because it can't hurt. But when the time comes, you'll be able to see your payout methods included. So this isn't visible to the majority of hosts now, unless you're in that pilot program. But if you do have direct basic at any stage, you'll be able to see your payout methods here. So in the future, it's going to be as easy as adding a payment method within Hospitable. So this is my Stripe account, and it's integrated with Hospitable now. So this is what's on the horizon for Hospitable hosts. It's very exciting, super easy to set up. So this is how it would see, you'd see it for direct basic. And then there'll be options to add further payout methods and bank accounts for direct premium hosts. So there's a bit there that we might have to go through in future events. But yeah, super exciting functionality that's been long overdue from our end at Hospitable.
Awesome. And this is a good question, which I'm not particularly sure of. You might know, Ethan. When for manual bookings for direct, will the user be able to process their own credit card transactions for manual bookings?
So manual bookings can be still viewed as a different process from within Hospitable. So you can always go to your calendar and you'll see a button on the right-hand side that says add a booking. So if you've got your in-laws coming to stay next week and you don't want to charge them through direct, you can always go through and just add a manual booking with their name. If you're a property manager and you've got the owner coming to stay, you can add a manual booking that way as well. So that's a way to create a booking without doing payment charges. You can also, if you were so inclined, create a manual booking and then send through a charge separately. But if you're wanting to charge, it would make sense in the future to integrate with direct and have all that handled for you automatically.
Yeah, and I guess if you had that live and available, ready to go, you could just walk through the process as if you were the guest and process it the same way. And then you could make any adjustments on the back end if you needed to. Great question. We have someone who is a user and they are in trial and they want to know, how do you all feel about Hospitable? What's your feedback? Should they continue to use the software? Give them all the details in the chat. Let's see. Okay, great. Yes, Hospitable is the best. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. So yes, this will be recorded. You will be able to watch this back. I know that we had some people come in a bit late and they're asking, oh my gosh, I missed the beginning. What can I do to catch it? This will be sent out via email and you will be able to look back, learn, and see what you can do to better your experience. We have someone that said, I love Hospitable. I've been using it for a while and I will continue to use it. They do messaging the best since that is the roots, and always adding new features as well. Great feedback. Thank you. Can you add separate payout methods per property?
Yeah, so when the payment integration does go live, you'll have the ability to add multiple payout methods. So you can add multiple bank accounts. We understand it doesn't make sense to have one payout method for hosts with 100 properties. So there will be an option to add multiple payout methods and scope those to different properties. So when you're scoping a payout method, you can click which properties that is applicable for sure.
Awesome. Someone wants to know, would we be able to add a chat or inquiry feature to the direct booking sites? That isn't something that I'm aware of is in the pipeline. However, you can always share your suggestions and feedback to feedback.hospitable.com. And there we kind of go on like a voting system. So whichever one has the most votes is made priority. And so if you feel and other users feel, hey, that's a feature I want to see, please vote on it and our engineers will see that and pay attention to it. All right, Roscoe, thanks for your question. How would I change my pricing on Hospitable? So you would go directly onto your calendar and you can either bulk select dates or select one date specifically that you'd like to change. Click on that date. A box will open on the right and you can just change the price and make sure you save it. That's the most important part, saving it, and that price will be locked in for you. Okay, let's see, what else? And if anybody has a question they would actually like to speak and ask, feel free to raise your hand, and that is also a way we can get these questions rolling too. Will I be able to send the direct bookings to my Google Calendar? They should be able to export it, right? Their property calendar. It won't be specific to direct bookings, but they could have their entire calendar on their Google Calendar.
Yeah, for sure. So you could export your entire properties calendar via iCal to your Google Calendar. So that's an existing functionality that we've got within Hospitable. That iCal sync is not live, but you can sync that out to external calendars. I'll send you through a link in the chat so you can check out that sync. That would include reservations across all of your platforms. It's not possible at the moment to solely have just direct listings and reservations via iCal.
Thank you for that. Someone said, I have questions about communicating with cleaners right now. My cleaner gets a text. How do they respond to confirm and accept? So that is something that Hospitable doesn't currently offer as a feature, but Turno does. So we highly recommend that you integrate with Turno. You have a free subscription if you are a Hospitable subscriber, and you will be able to actually communicate back and forth with your cleaners through Turno. Awesome, awesome. If anyone wants to speak, feel free to raise your hand. I love all these questions coming in. This is so good. Let's see. Okay, Roscoe, sounds like we may want to take a look at your calendar because you said, I'm not sure why my pricing looks different in Airbnb. Shoot support a ticket and we can definitely look into your calendar to help you out with that. Let's see, regarding Turno, do you know if we can use just their scheduling and operational features? I would not want jobs visible to other cleaners that I have on my own. I would just like to explore those operations functions.
Yeah, for sure. So you don't have to add all of your cleaners to Turno, and everything is, you can scope permissions for that particular cleaner. So there's no requirement to allow any particular teammate to view anything more than you allow them. So that's fully customizable within Turno for sure.
Awesome. Someone asked, can we have an option of how we sound when giving generated replies from AI instead of rating how the reply sounded? I'm not sure yet. That is a very new feature for us. So maybe not at the moment, but if you submit that to feedback.hospitable.com, then maybe that's something we can look into. This literally just rolled out. We're figuring it out ourselves, if we're being honest. So send that feedback that's something you would like to see, and we can see if we can make it happen. A great question. Is there a way to do one-on-one sessions with a Hospitable teammate? Eventually, we will have those support calls again. Right now, we are very limited on the team. We're actually, if we're being totally honest and transparent, we're working on onboarding new team members so we can better support all of our users. So we have limited those one-on-one sessions right now. However, if you feel that that is something that's a priority for you and you really, really need some help walking through the process, we will make the time for that. So contact support, let us know what's on your mind. We also do have tons of help articles that really walk you through things step by step. You can find that in the lower right-hand corner of your dashboard. It says help, and you literally type in what you need and all the articles pop up. But if you do need a session, write us on chat or email us, and we can see if we can set up a one-on-one session with a teammate for you. we love doing them. We're just trying to get to everybody as quick as we can.
We
We're
do.
catching
We
up.
yeah, we love meeting. We love doing the one-on-one Zooms with hosts whenever we can. We just have we've got a lot of hosts and not enough support members at the time. So if you do reach out to us, please be patient. It may take several days to be able to line up a Zoom. So we really appreciate your patience with all those things. We also got some awesome functionality within our support chat where you can film a screen share of your own account. It makes it a lot easier than trying to type out exactly what you're encountering. So I highly recommend using that screen share option. If we don't get to your ticket live, which is the reality, we try to get back to everybody within a day. But if we're not getting back to you live, often there's more information that we need in order to successfully troubleshoot your issue. So if you can film a screen share of exactly what it is you're encountering, that's huge for the support team in regards to our ability to successfully support you and help you out with the issues that you're encountering.
Yeah, we promise we're not ignoring you. We promise. Will there ever be a marketplace or concierge marketplace function like Hostfully guidebooks have? I'm looking to add e-bike rentals. I think that's a great idea. I think that is something that's a long-term vision for us, but feedback.hospitable.com, that will be the place if you want to see it, put it there so that we can see that the demand is there and actively work on building up all the features in the platform for you. Let me go back to my questions. These are all so good. Okay, also something I wanted to mention before we end our time, we have a few more minutes of questions and I want to give you as much time as we can, but let me show you guys something cool that we're offering right now. One moment. Share my screen. Okay, so a special offer from the Real Estate Robinsons. If you are familiar with them, they are very, very successful Airbnb hosts, and they actually have an event that is going to help you build your Airbnb business. And if that is something that interests you, it is taking place in April in Austin. And you can register at strsummit.com. If you use the code Hospitable, you will get $200 off your ticket. They are an amazing couple and have been doing an amazing job, and they use Hospitable as well to support their business. And they've been teaching people how to do the same and become financially free and time-free using Airbnb. So if that is something that you think is pretty cool, I do, please go to strsummit.com, use that code and get a ticket so that you can learn even more tips and tricks than you are learning right here today. All righty. So we got about 10 more minutes. Let's see what questions we have. This is going great. Let's see. Okay. Great, thanks, Ryan. Please shoot that feedback over. We will take all the feedback that we can get. When will direct premium be available for properties in Canada? We aren't sure yet. Like we said, we're always open and transparent. We're just trying to roll this thing out right now. Get it to as many people as we can at the moment. So once it's rocking and rolling, it's starting with our US base, then we will make sure that we get it to as many people as we can as possible. And we'll make sure we keep you in the loop on that as well. Okay, let me make sure we didn't miss anything. I was taking some notes over here myself. Let's see. If you have previously had a membership with Turno, will you still receive the discount via the Hospitable API connection? Yes, you will. So as soon as you are connected through that API, Turno will pick up on that, and then your next month will be free going forward for the subscription. And if anyone has any best practices to share, their experience with Turno, if you use Beyond, please write in the chat as well so we can share that information with the group. And provide that feedback so new users can know what to expect. Can we link our Airbnb guidebook via a link in messaging with our direct/manual booked guests? Let's see. Ethan, you got that one?
So is the question, can you link your direct bookings in with your current platform bookings? Was that the
Your
question?
guidebook from Airbnb for your direct bookings, yes.
Oh yeah, so we don't have a inbuilt native guidebook functionality as yet, but there is the ability to include links within your scheduled message. So I'll share a support article in the chat. It runs through the steps required and some known limitations on including links and images within your existing scheduled messages. And you can have those messaging rules scoped to direct bookings or to Airbnb bookings or whatever you decide. So if you do have a existing guidebook, whether you use that on another platform or not, or whether it's something you've created on Dropbox, for example, you can get the shareable link from that platform and add that to your messaging rules, and that works really well as a good way to share it while we don't have the native functionality. So I'll add that for you guys now.
Awesome. And we had someone write in, anybody have experience in both Beyond and Price Labs? If so, how do they compare? And if anybody writes in, I'll make sure I share that feedback because I don't think all of our messages are showing, but please write in, let's share with the community. What do you like more, Beyond, Price Labs? I see a mix of both. I've only used Price Labs and they are bomb. Okay, Stacey, thank you.
I'm with you there, Stacey. I use Price Labs on my listing and they're awesome. Tons extra revenue. Everything's optimized and done automatically. So they're a separate subscription, just like any of the other pricing software. But yeah, definitely shout out to our friends at Price Labs. They're amazing, super easy to set up, and on my end, no advice here on outside software, but I can definitely say that it's definitely increased my own revenue. So shout out to Price Labs.
Awesome. Tyson, I didn't mean to skip your question. And we got so many, I will make sure we talk about it now. Will your improved metrics reports include transactions that were made through Airbnb Resolution Center? Currently, it does not include those, and my bookkeeper really does not like it.
Yeah, that's a good question, and unfortunately we don't have the functionality at the moment to include those resolution payments into your metrics, and that is a known limitation of our metrics downloads. If you're receiving money back because of something that's broken at your property through the Airbnb Resolution Center, we don't include that in metrics. So that's definitely something to be aware of for the rest of the hosts here today. That limitation will continue on the next rollout of metrics when that is launched. So that will have to be worked on the developers, but it's good to know at least that there is a limitation there that does need to be worked on, and we appreciate your patience while the team continues to work on that.
Yes, someone says, I'm currently paying $40 a month for the Turno subscription. Well, if you are connected with the Hospitable API, then that subscription will be free. But is it $40 a month? I'm not sure. You would have to connect with Turno, but we have an awesome article that will walk you through integrating Hospitable with Turno, so those subscription fees are waived. Processing fees, we are still they're still charging though, right? Ethan?
Yeah, so if you connect with a cleaner through Turno, so if you join Turno tomorrow and you connect in with one of their cleaners from their awesome marketplace, which it is a great way to find cleaners. I've got my existing cleaning crew already, which I've added to Turno. But if you struggle to find cleaners, which I know that's an ongoing challenge for a lot of us hosts, you can connect with cleaners on their marketplace. If you connect with one of the cleaners on the marketplace, they do charge a fee for the cleaning payment processing. So that's separate to the subscription. So the subscription fee is waived if you connect to Hospitable. And if you're an existing Turno subscriber and user, and then you now connect to Hospitable, your subscription fee should be waived going forward. If it's not, you can reach out to Turno support and they can help rectify that. But you will still be charged those ongoing payment processing fees when you connect with a new cleaner through Turno. It is about 5%, but I still, for every day of the week, for the amount of time saved, I definitely think it's worthwhile. It's a cost that can be added onto the cleaning fee if you so wish. And for the fact that all those payments are automated, it really is worth the time saving, which is what we're all here for. We're all about that automation and trying to streamline our operations wherever we can.
Great. Can you have video posted or social media account on your booking pages? I don't believe we can post videos right now. Send that to feedback.hospitable.com so we can get that. But I do believe you can connect your socials, right? At the bottom? Instagram?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can definitely add those social links. So on that setup page, when you're initially creating your site, there is a design tab, and at the bottom of that you'll see social links, so you can link to your Facebook, Twitter and Instagram from there. So yeah, definitely highly recommend setting that up. We don't have the ability to natively add videos to a direct site as yet. It's only images. And I don't believe that's on the developer's pipeline to add video anytime soon, but yeah, we definitely recommend hitting that feedback at support.com site and adding any potential feature requests there, because the more people that vote for things, it puts it higher up on the product and developers pipeline, and we know what our hosts are after in order to schedule where the company resources are at. So yeah, definitely add a vote there, and we'll if that's something that a lot of hosts are looking for, we'll put it on the upcoming pipeline.
Awesome. Someone's asked, will there be any updates on adding to the smart lock list? I'm trying to use Schlage and code or get Schlage and code on the list. I believe that one is on the list. So please check out the app section of Hospitable. You should be able to add your lock there. We're always looking to add new locks to the list, but we do have a pretty extensive list so far, especially since it's just rolling out. So I would check there to make sure that your lock is all set. Thank you all for the questions. This time went by so fast, it's already over, but we will send out a survey at the end of this. If you could please answer that survey just about your experience, and you can add any questions there that maybe we could pick up if there's a next one, or just that can be answered, or contact support if you have any specific questions. That would be awesome. We really appreciate you all showing up and holding space with us for everyone to connect and to get to know each other and sharing those tips and tricks. And we thank you all. So if you like it, let us know. If you have any questions, let us know. Please give us your feedback. We would love it. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, guys.